News with Gina.
The News with Gina Grad.
Well, it's odd for January to have this much Major League Baseball news, but oh my God, we have a lot of MLB news.
What else?
The latest is, well, I'm just going to give you all the latest. The LA City Council thinks not only were signs stolen from the Dodgers, but 2 championships. They're expected to vote next week on a resolution to urge Major League Baseball to take the championship trophies won by the Astros in 2017 and the Red Sox in 2018 and award them to the Dodgers.
Oh, that'll happen.
Councilman Gil Cedillo, who is sponsoring the resolution, expects it to be approved. He said, this is an equity and justice thing. Who was the best team in 2017? Who was the best team in 2018? It was the Dodgers. They got beat by teams that were cheating.
Hey, Gil, I don't care a lot about baseball, but man, the Rams against the Patriots in that second Super Bowl, they were in the Patriots first. That guy, they were just going to run out the clock and go into OT, but they threw a little flare pass. That guy, he didn't get out of bounds, and they stopped the clock. So, Gil, as long as you're getting ourselves some championships,
throw this one
let's
on.
talk to Kraft and Company and see if we can get ourselves another Super Bowl.
Get those rings.
Am I right?
Yeah, and what about New Orleans last year?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
hats
I'm a Rams fan. Gil, back off that one.
Don't worry, Blackburn of that shit.
Yeah.
So MLB already came down hard on the Astros. They suspended A.J. Hinch, a general
Sorry to
manager.
interrupt.
Yeah.
Gil is, what is his position again?
Councilman.
Gil, as if there's not problems in this city.
I was about to
Well,
say, they fixed all the straws in the noses of turtles, so now we're onto this.
This is something a little easier to deal with. So, but then, they got fired. The Red Sox fired manager Alex Cora, who was an Astros coach in 2017. And now did you hear the latest from today about Jose Altuve?
No.
Now,
he's really 6'2".
So I heard this on the way in. I think it was Gary and Shannon on KFI, and they were talking about his niece tweeted that they allegedly, no, Chris is saying
it was
no.
Carlos Beltran. Everyone thinks
I'm
it's
sorry.
Carlos
I thought,
Beltran's
okay,
niece.
for some reason they were talking about Jose Altuve, that maybe it was his.
She tweeted about Jose Altuve.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That he had a little buzzer inside his jersey. So, like at the poker table, they could just
like
give
a
a couple
casino.
of taps exactly
right.
and know which pitch was coming.
Get out the circular saw.
right.
So the conspiracy is he hits the home run off of Chapman. He's running home, and usually they rip off his jersey. But as he's nearing home, he gives like the Dikembe Mutombo, like no, don't
touch
take off my jersey.
yeah.
He grabs his jersey tight.
He's wired up.
And then right after he hits home, he runs into the dugout, changes his shirt, and runs back out.
And then they were comparing what is his average between a home game and an away game, and it was completely lopsided.
I got to say, there's certain things in life that it's a sort of all I need to know kind of thing, which is like he refused to take the breathalyzer when we pulled him over, but he also swears he hadn't been drinking. It's like, well, how does that work? And there's this great boxing match between, I think it's like Pryor, maybe it's Aaron Pryor and not Pepino Cuevas, but whoever. God, a great champion. It was a brutal match, but Panama Lewis, the trainer, was like in the corner, and they caught him with Pryor. I think it was Aaron Pryor in the corner, and he's like, some guy hands him the water, and he's like, not that water, the water I mix. And it's like, the water you mix?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, it's just water.
Or the water I
The
poured
filtered
from
water.
I got a
from
favorite.
the faucet.
Hey, I got a Brita.
Right.
Like the water, not that water, this water, the water, your water, the
weird.
water you mix.
Yeah.
Like that, taking off the jersey. No, don't take the jersey off. Then
Yeah.
go in the back, then change the jersey.
Yeah.
That's kind of all we need to know,
Yeah.
right? Because
It's suspicious.
you'd never do that any other way, right?
Yeah, so that story, I'm sure, will be developing.
Can I ask you a question then about current events, just because it hasn't come up and it's on my mind and I want to hear your thoughts on it? I think a lot of people do. If you're, let's say, for example, Donald Trump, and you're going to be impeached by the Senate and you are protesting your innocence, one would do. Well, if you're for trial, like, no, I'm innocent, blah, blah, there's lots of evidence out there. There's witnesses that could exonerate me. Don't call those witnesses. Is that the same thing?
I guess. I don't. It's getting all so complicated now.
Well, that's most basic. It's if you're a
Just follow the
defendant,
Twitter
if you're a
feed.
defendant in a trial and you're like, I did not do this. Okay, we're going to call some witnesses. Do not call any witnesses.
Yeah, I would assume. But see, also, I don't think there's such a thing as calling anybody nowadays or going to trial with anybody where everybody couldn't just load up on both sides and just bring whatever they wanted to bring.
But your guys, the John Boltons of the world, the Mulvaney's of the world, you know what I mean? Like your guys.
Yeah,
guys you hired.
Bolton, I think he fired or he left. I don't know. I don't think he's on good terms with him.
You see what I'm saying, though? It's a little suspicious with the no witnesses. I'm innocent. Don't talk to anybody.
Oh, I
believe what I'm hearing. Believe what I'm saying.
Well, I agree, but if you sit next to Garrigus long enough, you just go, once there's a trial, it's war, and you don't do anything. Like you just go,
I'll buy it as a legal strategy.
That's what he's doing, I'm guessing. And I think, and rightfully so, I think he thinks he has a target on his back, and he's just declared war. And back and forth. I think it's now Hatfield's and McCoy's. I think Adam Schiff has declared war and Trump has declared war, and this is a bad divorce.
Well, isn't this part of, they didn't let them call any witnesses when they were doing the thing in the House?
There were Republican witnesses.
But wasn't it more one-sided? I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch that closely. I couldn't tell you.
It's just we've gotten to the point where the first things first. I don't think there's any such thing as scratching any politician's lottery ticket without finding a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? Like you can scratch Trump's and find a bunch of shit, and even Joe Biden, just go find Hunter Biden and just go find everybody. Everybody's got a bunch of shit.
John Edwards was a squeaky clean guy who was, the next in line, and look what happened to him.
Something that Garrigus is fond of saying when I do my podcast with him, and I'm paraphrasing, but basically, if they want to bring you in and the federal government wants to create a case against you, they can do that to anybody. Everybody will be in trouble.
Yeah.
They'll find shit on everybody. So I think the point is now it's just a pure battle.
Just load up.
And everyone just loads up and lawyers up. You have the video of the boxing with the Blackwater bottle. Was that Panama Lewis?
Aaron Pryor versus Alexis
Arguello. Alexis. It was Alexis Arguello. Or maybe.
Alexis.
Give me that bottle. The one I mix. Okay? Come on.
The one I mixed.
Hey, when these two rungs, Chef. All right, wait a minute.
He's mic'd up.
Aaron Pryor's this guy's like one of the toughest unbeaten guys you never heard of before.
Can I be devil's advocate on that?
Yeah.
A lot of times in cycling in Europe and the whole thing, a lot of times what other teams will do is put something in a water bottle. That's why these guys won't drink anything except for what their team put together, because they can put anything in there that can taint your urine if they check you right after.
They weren't testing back then, I don't think.
And what is
they
the word?
They didn't do any testing.
And I don't mix water when I drink it. Like, what does that mean?
Well, when they say water, they mix sugar and everything else in it to give these guys energy. My question is, what can they put in that water right now that's going to help this guy in the next 3 minutes?
They speculate that it was speed. Essentially, he seemed, it was a 15-round fight, and he just didn't stop. Like he was just beaked out of his brain. That's what they're alleging. Alexis Arguello, I think, killed himself.
Oh my!
Eventually, these two got into two of the most epic boxing battles of all fucking time. And Pryor's just like unstoppable, and Arguello was like at the height of his powers, and I don't know where he's from, Panama or something. The country loved him, blah blah blah, but he couldn't get past Aaron Pryor, who just never stopped. Yeah, he shot himself in the heart.
Oh God!
Jesus Christ! Later on, and he at some point, Max Patty, you can find this. Like Alexis was just getting beat. He was the toughest guy in the world, but he was just Aaron Pryor was just beating the shit out of him, and he just wouldn't stop. But I think it was in their second fight, Alexis just hit him with this biggest uppercut in the world, and like Aaron Pryor's head just went all the way up like Rockin' Sock'em Robot, and then like back down again, and he just settled and he just kept coming forward. And Alexis is like, I knew I couldn't do anymore. And he was like, when you come from, I don't know where he was, Nicaragua, I don't know where he was from, but you gotta when you come from the United States and you're a champion boxer, it's like, yeah, okay, Floyd Mayweather. All right, that guy's a douche, or whoever. When you come from he's Nicaraguan. The entire country celebrates you, and the entire country lives and dies on it. And if your fucking fight is in, Caesar's Palace at 9 p.m., they'll be up at 4 in the morning watching your fight in the middle of the night. The entire country rests on you. And if you fucking lose...
It's tough. It's a tough day on Monday.
You end up killing yourself at some point. And he did. Yeah. Yeah. But Aaron Pryor's a guy that people don't know about. But, man, that guy was unbeatable in his day. And Panama Lewis. Also, if you saw a picture of Panama, you'd say, I bet that guy could skirt a rule or two.
Up to something.
Oh, I got to see it.
Mm-hmm. All right, sorry, where were we?
Well, one more MLB story. Again, very weird for this time of year, but Major League Baseball is having a couple of scandals right now, but they are also doing a few other things. The San Francisco Giants.
Where do you guys come down on this cheating story? Thinking about the buzzer and the pitch and all that. There's certain cheating stories that I do like that involve
like innovation?
Innovation and there's cheating. The soapbox derby one where the guy had the electromagnet on the front of his cart. And when the metal gate flap went down,
gave him a little boost.
It pulled him forward. And he activated it by a seat or something. Pushed a button, electromagnet, pulls forward. And if you think about it, in a world where the wheels are the same, the shape's the same, everything's the same, and you get just a little extra push, just a little bit at the start, you just win, right?
Yeah.
Where are we with that guy? Where are we with him? Where are we with his dad?
I mean, way to think outside the box.
So, box derby, yeah.
Yeah, something outside the box, but I don't like cheating. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are the other people who worked hard to make an efficient soapbox derby car?
Well,
but you think about in the world of automotive racing, it's like in F1, they had a rule. And the rule's no changing the aerodynamics on the car from inside of the car. They have to be locked off. But somebody figured out that if you make the aero stuff thin enough, over 100 miles an hour, it'll start bending on its own. Now you're sort of cheating, but you're winning.
But that's different than putting the magnet.
The part I remember from Ford v Ferrari, and I think also from Shelby American, was the brake. No, the replacement. Didn't they replace the entire unit of the brake or something? And there was a way around. It was still within the rules, but it was something that hadn't been done, and they kind of realized a better way to do it.
Yeah, Phil.
That I like. That's a genius.
Phil Remington figured out that brakes were a problem, and that instead of stopping all the time and replacing the pads and the whatever, he just took the whole rotor assembly and all the pads and the calipers and was able to do a quick change where he took the whole thing off and put a whole fresh new set on, and that's kind of what won him the race. So yeah, that is innovation.
My dad
different
figured
than
out
cheating.
Sorry, Gina. My dad figured out a thing in soapbox derby, Matchbox, the little
box?
car,
the little one,
Pine box, yeah. He looked at it and he stayed within the rules, but he said, "Wait a minute, the friction comes from the wheels touching the surface,
right?
So if I just inch up one of the wheels a little bit, now you have 3 wheels. This wheel's just going to bobble around." My brother's car was a champion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Worked like a charm.
Yeah, it didn't, the weight, everything else was, that's within the rules.
Ingenious.
That's the same as, the thing, the wind hitting it and bending it down. You're not breaking a rule. You're working within the rules. It says you need 4 wheels on the car.
And you had
doesn't say they all have to have contact
right.
with the surface.
If one is bobbling along, you have less friction, you're going to win.
Brian.
What's the name? I got
Yes.
that robot remote control show.
BattleBots?
Thank you, BattleBots. That makes sense because that's anything goes. You trick it out. Your imagination's your only limit. Go for it. Then it's on. But if everybody's supposed to be doing the same thing and you just kind of add something to your car, then what's the fun in that?
Yeah, I agree. It just makes for a good story when the guy had the electromagnet.
It's a great story. I would have been best to be against him.
And I did do BattleBots once, and I think me and Jimmy were doing battle against Chinzilla or something. It was Jay Leno's, whatever. And I remember it very clearly. I had a really bad BattleBot. We were horrible, but I remember very clearly I had this thing with these saw blades for wheels. And I just got into the box, and I had flown remote control airplanes a little bit, so I kind of knew my way around the remote setup, and the gimbal, the joystick or whatever, left, right, all that kind of stuff. And I remember saying, like, so Jimmy's like, yeah, you do it because you know what to do. Or you've handled this. And I was like, okay. And I took the one stick to go forward, and I went forward, and it went backwards. And I said to the guy, hey, what's going on? I just went forward, and it just went backward. And he went, oh. And you looked at it, and the way it was shaped, they had it flipped over. It was not on its right side. It was flipped over. You couldn't tell by looking at it. You just did it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we got to go flip it back over. And like, cage is locked. Here we go. And I was like, well, this is going to be difficult. This is going to be difficult because now when I wanted to go forward, I have to remember to go backward. I don't think I'm going to be super competitive in this.
Did you guys have to build it also, or
no? We just showed up and they handed us the junk. All right, sorry. Where were we? Oh, sorry.
So you're going to ask me something. You said my name.
Can't remember. Oh, I was going to ask you, in your world, when they have the mule that kicks field goals, but it doesn't say in the rule book that Gus can't kick field goals. Is that okay?
It's in the rule book. It says a player must line up, 5 yards behind. If that mule's on the roster, i.e., a player, that's all good for me.
Okay, all right. Just checking where you're at.
Okay,
that was a great. What was that movie, Gus?
They had a few versions of that.
Well, they had the goose that laid the golden egg. They used animals. They had the Shaggy DA. But they had Gus, the mule that would kick field goals.
It was Gus.
This is Gus.
Wow.
Sorry,
Gus leads the league in laughter. The miracle mule who kicks 100-yard field goals.
Is that an official stat?
Yeah. All right. He's a mule.
Who teamed up with the chimp as a cop? That was
It's a Burt Reynolds? No,
it was Make My Day.
No. Small black man.
Cut that out. Cut that out.
Cop and a half. How dare you? Sorry. Yeah.
So the Giants announced it has hired the first female coach in Major League Baseball history. Alyssa Nakken, a 29-year-old former college softball star, has been hired as an assistant coach for manager Gabe Kapler. Nakken has been part of the Giants organization, by the way, since 2014. Previously worked in player development and with teams' health and wellness initiatives. Kapler says Nakken will work directly with players, travel with the team, and will be in uniform on the field before games during batting practice.
Hot. Yeah. By the way, Morgana bursted through that glass ceiling years ago, sweetheart.
John.
So, yeah, she was on the field.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
she was in part of a uniform.
No, that's right.
This has all been there and done that, Alyssa. Sorry, sweet cheeks, but
I think you're a trailblazer.
Yeah, Morgana was the real trailblazer.
Morgana.
Mm-hmm. By the way, on my list of women I could now bang, add Morgana.
She's up there.
I think I can get to her.
She's still alive.
Yeah.
Well, then really,
then there's nothing stopping you.
When I was 19 and she was charging the mound,
right.
she was not.
Out of your
not
league.
out of my league, literally. But I can get to Morgana now.
Was Morgana good looking? She had big breasts, but I only ever saw her from a distance.
She wasn't.
Wait a minute.
Hey,
she wasn't hot.
No,
she was like Dolly Parton-esque.
Okay.
Let's see.
She had the big blonde hair and the big bust, and she was pretty in the face.
I think I only ever saw her from the outfield cam.
That's all you need.
Mm-hmm. All right, sorry. Keep
So
going.
in their day, would you rather, local edition, Morgana or Angeline?
I don't know that Angeline was ever under 50. Now, look, I'm not a scientist, but I do not think I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think she was ever under 50.
We never saw her as like a early 20s.
Ingenue, Angeline.
No. So then Morgana, I know just came up normally.
I think Vinny might be right about Morgana.
She was 22 at some point. So I'd go Morgana because Angeline was never under 50.
Not to inject such somber news, but I think Angeline's parents were Holocaust survivors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she has quite a story. I've looked into it. Oh, Brian, please. She's but I think you might be right. We've never seen her young.
Yeah. Are we now at the point where we need actor Dan Woodruff? Remember? Actor Dan Woodruff was the male Angeline.
Oh.
He doesn't sound familiar.
The guy with the Cadillac.
Yeah,
the car.
The guy would drive his car up like Beechwood Canyon and drive his car to like Sunset Boulevard and like park his car. He was like the poor man's Angeline, like actor Dan Woodruff, and he'd park his thing everywhere, and everyone would like because that's how it works. Steven Spielberg is running late to a meeting, and he sees a camper van, and it's got a guy's headshot on it. It's like, that guy. Tell Hanks he's out for Private Ryan. Like
Dan Woodruff.
I used to see his car parked in front of Sandy Gallon. Remember Sam Dollar, Sandy Gallon? Those guys. They had Dolly Parton and Sandy Gallon had the biggest. They had Michael Jackson and Roseanne and all these people, and I used to go in there all the time. And his car would be right outside.
I'm so glad, because otherwise I would sound like an insane man.
He existed.
Wow.
I'm looking at pictures of Morgana, not nearly as cute as we all think. I mean, big bust, of course.
Adam could have gotten her back then.
We got to deduct some like 70s, 80s points too.
Oh yeah,
everybody
take
had
all that
crazy
away.
hair.
You're still getting her.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would still choose her over Angeline. Angeline freaks me out. Like she's
well, again, we don't know what the 23-year-old version of her looked like. I
true.
say it's because it doesn't exist. Is it Dan Woodruff, Max Bada?
I'm not
Striped
saying Dan
pajamas.
Woodruff.
What is it? What Woodruff? What is his first name then? Actor, Hollywood actor, station wagon. God, it's got to be
stickers
somewhere.
all over it. He had a thing on the top.
Yeah, it was like he was running for city council or something.
It was
He was
everywhere.
an actor.
There's Morgana.
Oh, Morgana. Yeah. Looks a little. But again,
I would have gone for Angeline based on the Corvette alone.
Oh, yeah. It's still all over the valley. I see it on a
she
weekly
used to
basis.
live near me before I moved.
But you know
Corvette.
what? Now that Corvette's pretty damaged, and there's a lot of pink tape where it should be
Pink
like buffed
Bondo.
out. Yeah.
She got it fixed.
So bad. Oh, sorry. I was saying Dan Woodruff. It's Dennis Woodruff.
Yeah, there's a Dennis Woodruff who has this wacky.
Oh, my God.
Way off.
Yeah. He sold me DVDs of a movie he made, and it was the only way I could get him to go away when I was hiking in Griffith Park.
Well,
yes. Yeah.
I would argue that my Dan Woodruff was close enough to get all you to Dennis Woodruff. But it is Dennis Woodruff.
Known actor Dennis Woodruff.
That's the one. That's the car I remember, not the second one you showed.
Yeah, he painted stuff all over his car. I don't know if he ever worked. He really got screwed because in all the big doom and gloom blockbuster movies, we'd always take the Angeline billboard would always come down, but the Dennis Woodruff car never got crushed by a meteor or anything. He couldn't even get the sort of sidebar work,
The gimmick stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a movie coming out.
He's got a movie coming out?
I Am an Alien. He plays Dennis.
Mike's
Be
probably
careful where you
already booked
hike.
him. All right, here we go.
Gigi Hadid won't be judging Harvey Weinstein in the courtroom. The 24-year-old supermodel has been dismissed as a potential juror in the mogul's rape trial. Gigi appeared in Manhattan Supreme Court Thursday, but was excused 15 minutes later. She had two things going against her. First, she admitted to the judge she's met him, and she's best friends with Cara Delevingne, one of the women who's accusing Weinstein of sexual misconduct.
She's like 22, isn't she?
24 now. There's Gigi and Bella.
No, I'm talking about Cara Delevingne because it means Harvey was working well into his later years.
Oh, yeah. Or not.
Cara Delevingne is not old, right?
That's what I'm thinking, like 25-ish?
It could be 30, but still, he's working young or older. This must have been...
She's 27.
What are the chances, though, that you're going to find the one girl out of 12 people that's going to know either Harvey or one of the guys he assaulted?
It happened.
Also, Cara Delevingne is like one of the... She's kind of a... I don't know, she's lesbian or she's trans, whatever, or something.
She's with a lady?
She's a lady.
Or she's with a lady, yeah.
Yeah, she likes the ladies.
She's openly
lady.
bisexual.
She's a handsome lady.
She's a handsome lady. She's got a nice brow on her. That's
Yeah,
why I
she's all
appreciate it.
brow.
Some good-looking women have very masculine features, for lack of a better term.
Many do.
Yeah.
Brooke Shields. Yeah. Giselle Bundchen looks like a handsome dude. Like that's a dude. All right. So I'll get to her, but it's going to be like between 23 and 31 years. Mm-hmm. It's going to take a while.
Crosses the X-axis.
Morgana, I get this weekend.
Right.
In fact, she's...
By the time you people hear this.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So Mark Ruffalo didn't hold back when it came to transforming into his latest character.
It must be nice. It must be nice for women. I wish I had the kind of sexual fluidity where if something just kind of became vogue, you know what I mean? Like, in a few years, let's just say me chugging cock just became popular. Just chugging dick just became popular. And I just go, you know what? I think I'm going to float over that direction for a while.
See what all the fuss
you know
is
what I mean? It seems cool.
Everyone's having fun.
Like back in the day, it would hurt my career. Now it might help a little bit, or I can get a little ink on this. So whatever. Vinny, need a blowjob?
Yeah, I can use one.
Yeah, 6 years ago I wouldn't have blown you, but now people are kind of talking about it. So I'm there. It's that fluidity of sexuality, man, that is nice. Guys, we're fucking locked off.
You're locked in.
We're screwed, yeah.
Would you like a fun little side piece of trivia about that? Mm-hmm. In New York, when I was really having a great time.
Slow it down. Yeah.
I met someone out, like, you know, at a bar, and it was actually like one of the gimmick was, and this was not when everyone had their phone next to them. There were phones on the table, and you could call other, we were like young and thought that was great. And there was this super cute guy that called, and we were talking, and it was just like, everyone's drinking, having fun. So we start talking, and he's super cute, kind of like soft features, and I think you know where this is going.
Could be gay,
and I'm interested, and he seems interested, and we keep talking, and I was very young, and this was not as sort of quote unquote normal or normalized or mainstream as it is now, and found out that he was trans, and I was down.
You were down,
yeah.
With the.
Transition
to a man.
But such a handsome and pretty and like perfect features.
See, guys can't do that.
There was no reason to be like, huh? What? It was just like, oh, sure, yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be like if me, you, and Brian were somewhere, and then you were like, well, if you and Brian make out, it'll make me really hot. And I'd be like, well, I'm not normally into guys, but okay.
I have had a couple of Chardonnays.
It's going to make Gina hot if we make out in front of her.
There's a good chance.
All right.
I'm down.
Don't have that.
Not going to happen?
No.
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
I think society thinks guys, it's that sort of thing where
we
it's
got
like,
a cruise coming up.
It's that thing where it's like Lena Dunham is defining the new beauty in Hollywood or whatever. Not for any dudes I know.
Yeah.
Never, none of the time, 0 of the time. We don't budge. This is just thing that women, I think. See, there's two groups that are working on this case: women and gay guys. So they're like, well, why wouldn't straight guys just float on over to Lena Dunham and her new aesthetic? And it's like, because we don't fucking budge.
Okay, but I'm wondering if any of it is at all cultural, because Kaylin, I'm sorry I didn't give you a heads up, but can you pull up Lizzo's Instagram?
Yeah.
Because I know you know who she is and you're familiar, but boy, oh boy, does she own it in less than demure outfits. The gold one. Click on the gold one.
I saw her twerking on the beach.
So there's nothing about this that's like, okay, I see it.
No,
there's
nothing about it.
As a matter of fact,
confidence, the lack of
confidence,
fabric.
I want fucking super low self-esteem and hot.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? Like
that
I want a chick where I go, you better blow me or you're going to get into trouble. I'm going to tell people, and they go, I'm sorry, did I make a mistake? I don't want confidence.
Quite the opposite.
I want 0 self-esteem.
I didn't realize that.
You understand?
This is for Adam and Brian. Have you ever had a gay guy explain to you, oh, yeah, even though you're straight, you've thought about guys before? And I'll go, no, I haven't. It's never occurred. Oh, yeah, you must have. And it's like, no, it's never happened.
No.
It's like, you've never fantasized about being, it's like, no, in my entire life it's not happened. Adam?
Right. Save Tom Brady for Brian, but yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a man.
Wait, hang on.
Look,
Tom doesn't
He's
count,
not a man.
right?
He's a god.
When guys, look, said it many times. If guys, if self-actualized, democratic, left-leaning, progressive guys who are straight see dudes making out, they'll put their hand up.
Yeah.
If they're watching a TV show where 2 guys are getting it on or something, they walk by, they'll put their hand up or they'll look in another direction. That's how guys are wired.
Makes you uncomfortable.
No. It's not. See,
It's
you're
not-
doing a thing, Gina.
I'm trying to
no,
find
you're
out.
brainwashed. You're brainwashed because you're going, don't you like her confidence? Makes you uncomfortable? No. It's not that. It's just hard wiring.
But
It's
I'm
just
not
a
saying
hard
you're
wiring.
choosing it, but there's a discomfort in looking at it, so you're blocking your view.
It's not
It's not even
uncomfortable,
that.
though. It's like it's an aesthetic. And it's like Lizzo's her confidence is a zero. It's a zero. It's a 100% zero to us. And the discomfort or whatever it is, it's a hardwired aesthetic. It's no different than a compound fracture for me. It's like I can't. It hurts. I don't want to look. That's how straight guys are. I've asked Dr. Drew about it. He's like, that's how they are. That's how guys are. They put their fucking hands up. We're trying to mold it into some sort of construct, but it's not a construct. It's a hard wiring.
Where are you when you watch porn?
If I see Brad Naylor on top of Peter North, yes.
But if it's guy with a woman,
yeah.
Like it's almost like you don't even see the guy as a guy. At least for me,
he's a proxy to you.
Well, that's an interesting point. Some
deep.
Guys swap themselves out for the dude. I don't do that.
I just watch a lot of lesbian porn.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, because then you don't have to
you
even
old pussy eater, you.
Yeah, way back. Learn a few tricks. But think about it. You don't. Do you even see it?
Oh no, I am a dick gazer. Dick Gazer would be a good porn name too. Yeah. Brad Naylor, yeah, Dick Gazer. You figure flip a coin then if you're both tops. I'm sorry.
I like your work.
So you're gazing at cock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but if it's two guys.
No. I've realized this is an interesting dynamic here. If I watch porn and the guy has sort of a puny, lackluster cock, it's not as good as if he has a good cock.
Right.
A big cock.
Impressive.
Do you guys feel that way? Is the cock neither here nor there?
No, I need a good cock.
A good cock's good. It's basically you want to play with a regulation cock. You know what I mean?
Never thought of it
wiffle
before,
cock or Nerf cock. You know.
No, you're right. I've never thought, but yeah, if the guy's got a small cock, I'm moving on to the next part. And I've never
my
thought
thing
of that
is
before.
also I smell
It does.
nepotism. Like, who do you know? How'd you get in this business? You with the medium-sized cock.
So,
oh, by the way, you never see the black man in there with the small cock.
That's going to ruin the stigma.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Never saw one in the locker room either.
I do like a large cock in the porn, but it is it's a tool.
okay.
It's a tool that's being used in the construction of porn.
Okay. And what if it's two guys and a girl and a pizza place, and they both have the cock that you desire to see, but the only way to get to her is a little bit of interaction. What do you do?
Oh, the only way to get to her
is
with
somehow
a little interaction. All right. Well, this is a very good point because the 2-on-1 porn is fine, enjoyable. You know, it's not. I don't seek it out, but if it finds its way to my computer, so be it. But the 2-into-1 hole porn, now we're crossing over.
You're out?
Usually it's not my thing because now we're getting into gay porn and straight porn sort of simultaneously. See what I mean?
My problem with that is the logistics. I stopped thinking about the porn and started going, where's the cameraman? How did he get in? And then I'm pulled out.
Pulling out.
Yeah, I'm pulling out. I'm going to the next porn because now I can't even fathom where this camera is.
You're too wrapped up in the cinematography.
It's like the lighting. What are they?
Yeah.
How?
I also get caught up in the titles because when I see like Plumper MILF, and I'm like, wait a minute, did she sign up for Plumper MILF or did she sign up? We're looking for hot, nubile, busty chicks. And all of a sudden,
beauties.
When she left the studio, they're like, all right, put her in the Plumper MILF category. And then she's got to go find herself labeled as Plumper MILF. You know what I mean? Where she thinks she's in young and hot or exotic and whatever, or cute and whatever.
We cut to later
Now look.
with her boyfriend, like, oh, let's look in busty beauties for my new video.
Right, Plumper MILF. Right. Now, look, if you do anal, that's on you. You're going in the anal barrel. That's fine. That's all above the board. Yeah. But some of those ones where the chicks, like MILF, they'll get fast and loose with MILF.
Right.
You know, they'll do a 31-year-old as a MILF.
Or GILF, God forbid.
They'll do a chick, 137 pounds, they'll put her in the plumper, you know.
That can happen to you. If you don't have your glasses on and you're pulling up porn, you think you're pulling up MILF, you end up in GILF, and then you get your glasses on, it's like, oh my God, where am I?
Yeah.
And whose grandmother signed up for this?
My favorite porn title of all time when you used to have to go, and again, in New York, we frequent these places. It was so much fun. And there was, in the fetish section, there was, the pregnant women, and it was called lactose and tolerant. And they were spraying their breast milk on dudes.
That stuff and like Marge Simpson is getting nailed and stuff. It's
Lois
like,
Griffin.
Really?
Yeah.
Who is this?
Who's this for?
Who is
Who
this
eagerly
for?
left
I don't
this
like
up?
parody porn.
I don't. Again, I don't look at porn any differently than I look at lasagna. You know what I mean? Like you want to start putting in. Well, I'll fuck a good lasagna. No, you want to start doing like we do ours with goat cheese and pine nuts. Like get the fuck out of here.
that's
Just
wrong.
make the best fucking lasagna. Get the hottest chicks, the biggest dicks, and
The
Best
meltiest
marinara.
cheese.
I'm gonna fucking fire the starting pistol, and you guys go at it. We don't need any of the. Marge Simpson doesn't need to be lactating on
Right.
anybody. Like that scares me. I don't trust those people. I don't trust them. You know who it is. It's got to be the anime crowd.
Right.
I don't trust those
I don't
people
even
either.
Tentacle
get that.
porn.
Why would you watch that when you can watch real people?
It
makes no sense.
I don't know.
Because there's no tentacles in real porn.
There's
So many tentacles.
I don't get it.
It's like we have this. Let's do less than this, and you can watch. Who wants to do that?
Whack off to this, not that.
Yeah,
That's your new book,
book.
Vinny.
New book.
Let's do that.
I'm due for a new book. Get Dean Laurie on the hook.
I told this joke on stage last night, actually, which is like the advertisements that pop up on the porn are now fucking out of this world. Like I'm always obsessed with commercials and advertisements, and the ones that pop up in the porn department are much better than anything you're going to see on USA or Fox or anything. But there's this one, and I don't think they have it anymore, but they used to have one. They'd say, tired of beating off? Because the notion of it, I was like, boy, your timing couldn't be worse.
Obviously not.
Where were you 20 minutes ago when I was on Bring a Trailer? Because then we could have talked. Now, this fucking ship has sailed. You can't unring this ball.
No.
Right?
Ball?
Yeah, ball or
Ball
bell.
don't lie.
Right, yeah. But it's so, God, it's so crazy. All right, sorry, where were we, Gina Gray?
Mark Ruffalo, he had to
Mark
gain
Ruffalo.
30 pounds for his new role in a HBO miniseries called I Know This Much Is True. And so here's how it works. Ruffalo stars as two very different but identical twin brothers, Dominic and Thomas Birdsey. The actor filmed all his scenes as Dominic for the first 15 weeks. Then he took 5 weeks off to transform into the heavyset Thomas. So Thomas is schizophrenic, has been on medication for years, and Ruffalo said he gained weight to accurately portray the effect that can have on someone's body when you're on that medication. He says, when it comes to putting on weight, it was really challenging. He said, I didn't expect it to be. I thought it was going to be fun. But when you're force feeding yourself, some of the romance of the food sort of leaves. No word on what he ate or what his regimen was, but he didn't have fun putting on the 30 pounds.
I feel like he's a guy who always wants to put on some weight and kind of fights to go the other direction, or at least that's how it appears. But I think it'd be fun to put on 30 pounds, or at least to
Get paid for it?
give
Yeah.
it a whirl. Is this a new thing now where people are playing both people? There's the
Well,
other
technology
series.
allows
Fargo.
for
they
that.
didn't.
Yeah, what is this series?
Paul Rudd just
Paul
did it.
Rudd's
Oh, yeah,
playing
like
him,
13
right?
or 14 of himself, on Netflix.
I'd like to go the other direction. Like, everyone's talking about Disney Plus, and I
Right.
went Disney Minus, where
Yeah.
I watch less
Less.
Disney. I'd like to play half myself in a movie.
You know what? Fuck that guy. Anybody who goes, oh man, I had to sit around and eat pizza and ice cream. Yeah, oh my God, I don't know how I did it. Acting is the best work you could get in life, and he's grabbed that golden ring, and it's complete bullshit. When you go, oh my God, you have no idea what I had to go through. There's some guy struggling right now to lose 15, 20 pounds, and this guy's complaining about having to eat pizza.
Well, Vinny,
I don't buy it.
tell me.
I'm not buying it.
I don't want to have to blindside you with Mark Ruffalo, but he is an eco warrior, so I'm
Oh,
sure
in that
you
case.
love that
Is that on his
aspect of
bio?
his
I don't even know what
personality.
that is.
He loves the planet and the children more than you because he wants to leave them.
Okay, so I'll double
Healthy.
fuck that guy.
See, I don't
Speaking
like
of
the
which.
double fuck. Yeah. All right. I'm not a backdoor dude either. It always feels
Okay.
a little, I don't know. Like my feelings.
Intrusive?
A little intrusive. Like, hey, I can watch you get pounded by two dudes, but in the coolie, I don't know. I feel like I've overstepped my boundaries.
Do you feel like you're protective of her? Like
yes, I feel like. Well, the thing about porn is you get paid extra to do shit you don't want to do.
Right.
Which now we're drifting into some weird zone now because it's like we're all about Me Too and everything else, and someone's like, you start talking to porn has a list, there's like a menu, like girls one price, and anal's another, and two dudes is like another, and now you're basically saying, oh, I'm just paying you more money to do shit you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah,
it's a little.
Have you ever been into the anal thing?
No, not my thing.
Same. We're like brothers.
Look,
have you ever tried it?
Fuck a nice plate of lasagna. Yeah, anything for me, and I'm kind of this way in a weird way with cars, with food, with architecture, with sex. When it starts taking the turn into we're going to be different for the sake of being different, or this thing that's not broken. Like, look, I'm sorry, fucking and a blowjob ain't broken.
Right.
We don't need like the whole I appreciate the Mentos, but spit it out and start sucking, baby. That's what my license plate frame says. Like, I get it. It's like all the role playing and dirty talk and all that kind of stuff. It's like, hey, role playing, dirty talk, Mentos, that's great. Like, it worked. but here. We're fucking. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Fucking ain't broken.
Wait, ain't broke. Yeah. Lasagna ain't broke. Fucking ain't broke. These things that ain't broke.
No.
Don't touch them.
I told my girlfriend
foot through a Picasso.
I had a girlfriend in college, and she wanted to try it. And I said, look, I'm not against trying it, but you have a self-lubing machine.
Yeah,
right there, right next to it. This thing, I need. We gotta lube me up, and it really didn't work.
Yeah,
it didn't work well at all.
No.
Thank you for your share, Vinny.
Use this hole, not that hole.
my next book.
All right. I want to give people a little plug for the CarollaNewsletter.com is where you can go. We'll have all sorts of highlights from the week and behind-the-scenes stories and discounts and deals, exclusive videos. And also, you sign up, you get a chance to watch the big game over at the Car Museum with all the Carolla folks. And we'll see... Kim will be over there making the hot wings, and Cousin Sal taking bets, and the whole crew. And who knows, Matt Damon may swing by as well, because last time I ran into him, we used to see him over at Kimmel's all the time for Super Bowl. And I said, well, I'm doing Super Bowl now, so come on out. And he said, see you then. CarollaNewsletter.com is where you go to sign up. All right, let's do one more, Gina Grad.
You got it. So one unfortunate dad didn't think to look up after 4 days of constantly losing his stuff. Turns out his son had been pranking him, according to Metro.com. The boy was sticking his dad's things to the ceiling of their home, adding one belonging for every day his dad didn't notice. A Reddit poster shared images that we're looking at of items he glued, including glasses, a phone case, a shoe, and the beloved TV remote. Users tuned in every day to see which item was getting glued to the ceiling. It finally ended on day 5. And as for how he stuck everything up there, the guy said he used blue tack and some command strips for the shoe.
And so, like back in my day, if David Vendig did this to his dad, Mr.
God.
Vendig, his dad would just beat the shit out of him. Like he would have glued him to the ceiling. It's such a weird relationship everyone has with their kids now. Like it's an insane world. Like
you have a good laugh.
I know, and you can say, well, we'll do it differently, but it's like, I don't know. It's like trying to raise your kid as like a Jehovah's Witness in Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, it's crazy. Everyone, there is no, like, you don't have an adult child relationship anymore. You just have a couple of coworkers kind of relationship. And you tell them, like, I was telling my daughter the other day, I was driving her to school, and I was like, you got to walk to school. And she's like, yeah, but I don't want to walk to school. And I was like, I know, but you gotta start getting used to walking to school. And she's like, Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is I don't want to.
Maybe you didn't hear me.
And I'm like, she's not saying she rolled her ankle. She's literally going, no, you didn't hear me. I don't want to do this. And I'm like,
how far is it for her to walk?
I told Sonny to time it because Sonny walks.
Okay.
And Sonny's one of those kids where I go, Sonny, next time you go to school, I want you to time. He goes, I've already timed it. It's 12 minutes. I'm like, 12 minutes? Takes me 21 minutes there and back waiting in the car line.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, we're going to cut this in half. You walk. Chicks, by the way, get a lot of, they do something that works on dudes. Whereas that we can't, it's above reproach. We can't get near it. They say something about their hair. They go, oh, it's early and my hair's still wet, or it's too cold. Something with their hair, and then you go,
who am I to say?
I go, let me get the guy from Pantene to chime in. Like, I don't have any answers because there's something with your hair that's going on that
It'll
we don't.
frizz. I worked
you
so
can
hard on this
say,
braid.
like, I'm not going in the pool, or I can't walk here, I can't get out of the thing, or I can't. You do some hair. Your hair is basically. It's the non-period version of the period.
It's
like
your hair and your fallopian tube.
Yeah, you just say something and we go, oh, you got a cramp, so you can't. It's a heavy flow day. Okay, your hair.
Enough.
You want to play the hair and the heavy flow? We'll just fucking go in the next room and shut the door. Like, I'm out of ideas. Yeah, I was going to coach you up. He said something about your hair. Your hair's wet. Then when you walk to school, that it's cold, and then it ends up and blah blah blah. But kids ain't kids anymore, and adults ain't adults anymore.
Yeah.
How old are they now?
13.
Are either one of them dating, boyfriend, girlfriend?
Oh,
something?
yeah.
Yeah, they have.
They have boyfriends.
Yeah, boyfriend. And
is he really gay?
Sonny has a.
Can he please?
Sonny,
you said he's got a boyfriend.
You tell me, Sonny's girlfriend moved to France.
You wouldn't know her. She goes to another school in another continent.
That's all I know.
All right, so he had a girlfriend.
I guess, but she moved to France.
Was he upset about it? Did he mope around a bit?
No,
he bounced back pretty quick.
In that case, he may be gay.
C'est la vie.
I think they do. I think they you can FaceTime now or something.
They stay in contact.
I don't know.
And what about the girl? Boyfriend yet?
Yeah, she has I think she has a boyfriend. Yes, she says she has a boyfriend.
But you haven't met the kid.
I have. And I told him I need to know his zodiac sign and when she's compatible and blah blah blah.
Humiliated her.
Yeah, she doesn't like when she's easily humiliated.
She's a 13-year-old girl.
That's her thing. She's a 13-year-old girl.
He goes off the lunar calendar.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
I do like a large cock.
Gina. That was the news with Gina Grad.